Hi guys, welcome to another episode on my channel. Today I wanted to talk about mental health. What is mental health? What are some warning signs that we need some extra help? Knowing that it's always okay to ask for help and how to take care of yourself. And I wanted to do a quick video in the month of May because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. But most importantly, I wanted to do a video to just say it's okay to talk about our mental health. You know, still in our society today, we look at mental health as maybe a bad thing or something we got to keep quiet. And we really don't. Going to therapy doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It means there's something right. It's that you're brave and you're courageous and you're taking the next step to ask for help because you know that there are some things going on in your life that feel bigger than what you're able to handle, and to remember that we're not meant to do these things on our own or alone, that we thrive in connection, and so every time we can reach out and ask for help, we feel better, and that's one way that we are taking care of ourselves. So what is mental health? Mental health refers to the cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being, and it's how we think, feel, and behave. And you know, a lot of times when we hear the word mental health, we think of an old story of what society used to say is like, oh my gosh, something's wrong. Like, think about it. When you hear the word mental health, what are your thoughts? When you hear the word physical health, what are your thoughts? When you hear the word emotional health, what are your thoughts? Typically, our thoughts are our assumptions on how we think about even those three things. And so sometimes when we hear the word mental health, we think that, oh my gosh, there's something wrong, and we kind of go into a shame spiral of, oh, there must be something wrong, or I got to keep that, kind of quiet, or maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Whereas if we talked about physical health, it's like, oh, my stomach's upset. Then what do we do? It's like, okay, what do I need to do to take care of myself? Or, what's going on with me that's making my stomach feel bad? And, I think it's important that we start to talk about mental health a lot more. And actually, I know in the last few years, we have been talking about it a lot more. We've made resources more accessible. We have said, like, it's okay to talk about what's going on. And so I know we have started the process of destigmatizing mental health. And I also am saying we can do better. There's nothing wrong with that. So like I said, our mental health is kind of how we think, feel, and behave. And usually when things are starting to feel kind of off, or we feel like maybe we're feeling sad and we feel like it's affecting our daily life, or we have a lot of anxiety and we don't want to go out of the house, and so that's impacting our daily life. Those are some signs that we need some extra help, or that something's a little off. And some other warning signs that our mental health needs some care is, we're starting to withdraw, we're isolating, we're avoiding our daily activities or things that we like to do. Either we're sleeping too much or eating too much, or we're not sleeping enough, or we're not eating enough, or getting the sense of feeling hopeless, or super tired, low energy, or having this kind of confusion of like, what day is it today? We're starting to think a lot of negative thoughts. So, every time when we wake up in the morning, we automatically go to a negative place, or just in general, we're thinking very negatively. And like I said earlier, we're unable to perform our daily task. So, those are just some warning signs that if you notice those things are going on in your life right now, that we need to reach out for help. And in the comment section of my YouTube channel, I'm going to put a link for Psychology Today. So wherever you are, there's a resource right there where you can access some help. And no, most therapists today are doing teletherapy. And I just want to, also tell you, when I was reading through and doing some research for this YouTube, and I started reading the warning signs for, that we need to have some extra care for our mental health, basically the list I just read, in my mind, I couldn't help but think, like, how many of us are feeling all those things right now with the state of the pandemic and the coronavirus, and where we are even today after, I don't know, a few, like 2 months or 3 months of being socially isolating and quarantine. I think all of us could say, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing those feelings, or that's happening to me. And if it is, one, it's okay. Secondly, this is when we need to understand it is time to reach out and ask for help. As human beings, we are not meant to be isolated from other people's. And like I said, we thrive in connection. And so when we were asked to socially isolate, it's like we're asking to go from our daily life into something very different. And while different's not bad, it's just different. These are things that we didn't ask for. So it's going to make us feel more anxious. It's going to make us feel more depressed. We are grieving the loss of the life that we had, and we're trying to make sense of what this new quote-unquote normalcy looks like. And, I've actually done a YouTube video on all those things if you want to refer to them. But I'll say, like, our feelings, the way we feel about what's happening right now is our feelings. And so to be able to reach out and say, okay, this feels pretty extreme. Well, one, right now it is because of the pandemic that we're in, and that's okay. And two, to recognize, like, because I know this is bigger than me right now, how can I ask for help, or who can I ask for help? Calling a friend, calling a therapist, and just reaching out and saying, I'm not okay, and that's okay. So, those are some important things to kind of consider. And then the other thing is how to take care of yourself. And, right now it's like, how do I take care of myself in the state of a pandemic? And, how do I care for myself? My old coping mechanisms of things that I used to do, I'm now not doing anymore. But here's some things that I want to remind you of. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Kindness wins. Kindness makes us feel better, and kindness is contagious. Kindness makes us smile. Connect with other people. The ways, connection might look a little bit different now, but calling a friend, doing a Zoom call, or one of the house parties. When you're at the grocery store, it's even when you're wearing a mask, say hi to a stranger. Find those ways that you can connect with other people. In social media right now, there's some good news, and really that helps. Like, every week a new story comes out where it tells us what's going on in the world that's good. And I don't know about you, but every time I watch it, it makes my heart smile. And even if I have tears, it's tears of joy, because I'm seeing resiliency and hope and love. And so to remember those things, like, we will survive this. You are not alone. And to start paying attention to the things that do make your heart smile, even in the midst of quarantine. What are those small little things that help you or pull you through the day? And I also tell people, at the end of the night, before you go to bed, ask yourself, what was I able to do today? Instead, usually what we do is we talk about all the things that we didn't do, and then we beat ourselves up. And that doesn't do us any good except make us feel worse. So, what was I able to do that for the day? And even if it's like, hey, brushed my teeth and I made dinner, or I made my bed, or, it can be really small things, but in your mind, it's, I was able to do it. And that helps change how you see things, and that also helps with those feelings of sadness or depression, because you're changing the way you see the world. Again, it doesn't mean to minimize how you're feeling. It's just giving you a different option of how to see things. I think I've said in other videos, not every day is good, but there's good in every day. We just have to be willing to see the good parts, and the good parts help us pull us through the not so good parts. So, those are some things. And another thing to do is move your body. You don't have to be someone who does CrossFit or runs marathons. And if you are, that's great. And right now it is, how am I moving my body? What's a walk around the block, doing some push-ups, doing some deep breathing, doing some yoga, just finding ways to move. And movement helps us feel better. Taking deep breaths, pausing and just breathe, especially when you start to feel a rush of anxiety. It's like stop, imagine a stop sign, take a few deep breaths and focus on what's in my control in this moment. So these are some things that really can help you. Being kind to yourself, focusing on how you move your body, focusing on what was I able to do today, understanding it's okay that you're not having a great day, but focus on what is good in that day. Another thing to add is a gratitude list. Even right now, when we can focus on things that we're grateful for, it's important, and it helps change our brain to see things more positively. And again, that doesn't mean we're never going to focus on the not so good things. It's important to focus on those too, but not give those things so much energy, because a lot of times the negative is the things that are out of our control. All right, guys. So let's talk about mental health. This video goes over what mental health is. That it's absolutely okay, and it's really good to talk about it. Because you're not alone in this. And also that we're all, especially right now, we are all struggling with, care for ourselves, or being overly stressed out, feeling like really fatigued, feeling sad, feeling depressed, feeling more anxious. Like all of us are in this. And so it's like, what can you do to help yourself? Asking for help, contacting a therapist is an absolute great thing to do. It's okay to ask for help. And also going through those strategies of how to care for yourself, being kind, focusing on connection, moving your body, keeping the gratitude journal. Those are the things that can help pull you through, besides meeting with a therapist. All right, guys? Thank you for watching today's episode. Please don't be afraid to talk about your mental health. Share this video, and subscribe to my channel for weekly updates all about relationships. Have a great day.